HQ. Tell your mans to chill. Yo, who mans is this? Somebody come get us.
And if we're speaking of players that we think are going to be next up, let's talk about guys that you think are next up coming out of the amateur ranks. We've got a lot of guys and a lot of names to watch in the NCAA right now. We've got guys that are coming up playing overseas, guys that are in high school. A lot of guys are making this step. If you don't know, in the next year or so, the NBA is actually visiting a policy, or at least believing they're going to visit a policy that they're going to allow more guys to come up out of high school and to skip the college ranks in order to come to the NBA. So we've seen a lot of guys kind of play around with that rule, going prep and taking an extra postgraduate year. We've had guys that are going overseas, and of course, we have the guys that are just still in the NCAA. What do y'all think about some of the guys that are coming up? But who do you think can make waves as some of the top picks next year?
Okay, from college, I'll start there. James Wiseman, 7-foot lefty, versatile, big man with high energy and a high motor, could average a double-double. Maybe can bulk up a little bit, but I mean, his game, his game is his game. Anthony Edwards, huge guard from that is in Georgia. A lot of people don't know he actually reclassed. He's supposed to be a senior right now, so that just lets you know where he's going. Some people are comparing him to a stretch. I would say Dwayne Wade and Dwayne Wade and Spider, Donovan Mitchell type game, slasher who has a jump shot and can get buckets in a hurry. Also, I would say some people say Cole Anthony. I'm a little iffy on that, but he's definitely on draft mock boards. I think LaMelo could make top 5, I believe. He's a 6'7" point guard. A great playmaking ability. The jump shot will come. He's definitely more, I think his tangibles of being so long can make him a great defender in the next level. And I feel like he can just, his talent is just, so high, he can reach that way. And 5th, let's see. I want to see what RJ Hampton does, but I wouldn't put him in 5. But I want to see what he does. And right now, that's all I can think of. Daniel?
I definitely have to agree with that list. I'd say the person that has the most potential to grow, I'd say, is LaMelo Ball. And I'm saying that because, I think he's the best ball brother in the family. He's 6'7", he has great playmaking ability. The jump shot does need work. I think the whole family has had issues with having a consistent jump shot. Everybody has the little wonkiness, in their shooting form, so it kind of causes them to be off a little bit. But I'd say the jumper could use some work, and then LaMelo definitely, I think he could definitely bulk up a little bit. He does need some more size to contend in the NBA. He's been in Australia the whole time, playing in the NBL. But his team hasn't been producing, with wins and losses. He's balled out some. I think his best game, he had 24 points, I think maybe. But he's been hovering around the 15, 18 point per game mark. He has a lot of potential. He's shown he can go up against grown men. I think he's taking a Luka Doncic approach, with this whole game. RJ Hampton, he's very promising as well. I'm not giving him the nod over LaMelo Ball because of the playmaking ability, just the vision, to be able to see where players are going to be, how to make the right plays. RJ Hampton is not there for me. Cole Anthony though, I'm not giving into the hype because the reason why I'm saying that is anybody can look good to start the season because you're taking on non-conference opponents. And I say it's the same thing with James Wiseman and just all of these players everybody's trying to give hype to. You got to see how you match up in conference play because when you're playing non-conference, of course you're supposed to look good. You're supposed to be able to put up 30 and 10, or for James Wiseman, 28, 11, and 3 blocks. You're supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to eat. You're supposed to do that. But when it comes time for conference play, especially Cole Anthony taking on Duke, you got to see how you match up with him. Like James Wiseman in Memphis, you got to see how you match up with some of these other bigs in the conference. You know, there's so much hype you can give into it. There's so much, but when conference play comes up, that's when you will see how good these players are.
I think that's a great point to make. Like you said, a lot of these teams, they're just playing their non-conference flows in order to get their walk-ons in the game. They're just trying to get their flow going offensively. They're trying to work on different sets, different defenses, everything like that. Like you said, just in the beginning of the season, everybody's just coming off their workouts, their warm-up. Everybody's shots feeling pretty good. Everybody's coming in with great confidence. Like you said, I don't think anybody's faced any type of adversity yet. So I can definitely agree with that coming out the gates. Because we've had a lot of guys that start off the season looking very, very, very good. I believe, who was it? SKJ, Sasha Kalia Jones, coming out of Kentucky. When he was at his first few games, he was coming out of high school, and especially the first few games of college, they were #1. Regardless, but as the season dwindled on, he started looking a little softer. His footwork wasn't as good as teams thought he was. His shot blocking ability wasn't as good as teams thought it was. So he slipped down the draft a little bit. So I think that is definitely evident to what you're saying, because you had guys like Cam Reddish last year who looked like coming out of high school was easily a top 3 pick. And RJ Barrett and Zion Williamson were able to take that from him as the season went on. People weren't sold on Zion Williamson as the season began, and as he continued to play, and as he played in the NBA, I put his game to translate. So I think you're right. As we get to see more of these players, then we'll be able to determine who is the truth. And that's why I've been saying it since the kid has been 15, the LaMelo Ball, #1 pick. I've been saying this for a long time. As you can see, the kid keeps getting better. He just has so much potential. I don't even think he understands how good he can be. And the kid that went from shooting from everywhere in high school and without any type of conscience, half court, it didn't matter. Anywhere, anyone on the court, the kid was lethal to score from. He went from that to, okay, let me show you I can facilitate. He's had a couple double doubles over there overseas. He's showing you all parts of the game. And like you said, his jump shot's been a little bit streaky. He's been knocking down jumpers the last few games. But I think that the type of player that LaMelo is, I'm not really worried about jump shot, because he has, I think, an unshakable confidence so far, because he's the type of guy, he'll shoot 10 threes. He has that James Harden type style. He'll just keep shooting. He has that Mamba mentality in him already. And like I said, I feel like he's going to produce for you, whether it's playmaking and other intangibles such as defense. And I think he's working on his defense. This guy's getting better. He's playing over there with pros, guys that are looking to feed their families every night. And like, why I'm so sold on LaMelo Ball is also, contrary to a lot of guys you said in college, he was put into a situation where he wasn't the man. A lot of these guys came into college, they knew they were going to be the man. So things look different for you when you know the ball's going to get swung your way. You know you're going to get the minutes. When LaMelo Ball came over there, he wasn't guaranteed too many minutes. As you can see, for the first few games, I think he had 15, and now he's in the starting lineup. So you can tell he's worked his way to that position. So, and he's still out here doing it. He's not the main man on the squad, but now he's worked his way into being that guy. So I think that translates as well for teams looking for him at the next level, because in case he's not, that #1 option, he's going to be able to play well regardless. So I'm definitely sold on him. RJ Hampton, who was at one point a #1 player in his class, he also left high school a little bit early. I'm not necessarily sold on him. They did have 2 exhibition games against NBA teams in the preseason, which he completely did not perform well. I believe he had 2 and 4. He didn't shoot well from the field at all. He looked almost out of place out there. So that, I think, is going to be an interesting point to see how that kind of translates. And he hasn't really shown anything ridiculous overseas anyways. But yeah, I mean, of course, the kid is still young. He's still learning. But, it's the type of things where if you're putting millions of dollars onto these kids, you gotta look at the negatives as well. I'm also very high on Anthony Edwards. I believe he has an NBA type of body. He's athletic. He plays with a type of grit that I really enjoy watching, and he seems as he can score from all levels. The only thing about him is just, like I said, going back to how are you going to perform without that ball in your hands? Because he went to Georgia where he knew he was going to be the man over there. In high school, he's always been the man. He was averaging 30 plus on the prep circuit. It's going to be interesting to see how he does maybe at another level, but he's not necessarily getting the ball all the time swung his direction. Cole Anthony, he has definitely surpassed some of my expectations. I wasn't completely sure on him, and I made the point that he was just gonna have to ball out in order for North Carolina to be successful. So if I'm a North Carolina fan, I'm a fan of North Carolina, I'm slightly scared of what I'm seeing. Is that this guy is averaging 20, your point guard is averaging 27 and 10 rebounds, 27 and 10 rebounds. And this is what you need in order to beat schools like UNCW and Notre Dame. I mean, this is what you need from your point guard. I don't know if that's sustainable for the whole season from him. And like you said, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think he's for sure a next level talent. I like the way he operates in the pick and roll. He was touted as a super athlete coming out of high school, but he hasn't showed us too much of the athleticism besides the quickness, and of course his rebounding numbers have been high. So I think it's going to be great to see that as well. Tyrese Maxey has been I've been a fan of his game, watching his game in the prep circuit as well. He's been doing his thing so far for Kentucky. And like you said, it's going to be interesting to watch as the season goes on, continues to go forwards. Do I have a dark horse pick? You have anybody you think that is not getting the type of coverage that they deserve? Last year, mine was Chris Clemens. He was the guy that led the NCAA in scoring, and even though he was 5'9", now he's able to work his way into Rockets lineup. And when he has played, he has produced. He's had multiple games in double figures. So that was my dark horse pick last year. This year,
well, last year I had Shamori Pons from St. John's. He was averaging about, I wouldn't say 40, but he averaged about 20, almost 10. So he was getting it right. But as far as dark horse this year, that's just college, what else, overseas in general. Let me think.
As of right now, I don't know if I have one.
I'd have to see more college basketball into
like
the season.
I think as the season kind of dwindles on, we're going to be able to see a lot of guys. There is a guy though out of Detroit. He's been balling. He was killing last year as a freshman. He was, I believe, #1 in freshman scoring. He was, I believe, in top 5 in scoring. He plays for Detroit. His dad is the coach though. And Detroit, as a team, they haven't been too good in the past year, so they did just take a beating by NC State, but he did start off season 28 points. So as a guard, I think he's going to be interesting to watch, but they're going to need some more wins if he wants to make that leap to the NBA.
I will say though, keep an eye and radar out for Myles Powell from Seton Hall. He's been, he's been dropping buggies, man.
Yeah.
And just watch out. Don't be a sleeper.
That dude's a bucket. I want to do because that's my squad, but I don't necessarily see any one individual that I can see kind of like last year with that is going to make that immediate jump. I'm really high on Vernon Carey, but I just haven't seen that dog in him yet that I would just say immediately translates to the NBA. So far, he's super skilled. Is a big him and Hurt, super skilled. But we're just gonna have to see, like I said, as the season develops and goes on forwards.
We crossed over, then we slammed dunk. Crossover. Michael Jordan 6 rings make me slam dunk. Ain't no whiskey with the chickens, I'm a slam dunk.